This is my 2000 Lexus LX470, and today I'm going to be replacing these two hoses that run from the heater tees in the engine bay all the way to the third row climate control. Let's get into it. As these hoses are just held on with spring tension clamps, you should just need these tools. The correct set of tools would be a pair of hose clamp pliers and hose pliers, but I don't have these. Just to preface, before you do this job, you should technically drain the coolant out of the engine and the remaining system. However, I don't really feel like doing that and will suffer the consequences with my drain pan. So as you guys can see, the location of these hoses is right behind the driver's side cat right here. It's these two right here. You can see the clamps right here going into the cab for the third row, and right here behind this heat shield, which I will not be removing, can't be bothered, is where it connects to the pipes going up to the engine bay and connects into the heater tees. Let's try and get these off. So starting with this one here, let's get this clamp off. Okay, so that one's off almost. Like that. And this one here, take it right there. Okay, so let's see if we can wiggle these off here. I have my doubts. Let's see if we can get a pick in here and loosen that up. So I got my pick here. I'm gonna see if I can try and get it around and loosen everything up. I don't want to just take a pair of pliers, go gnawing on it like crazy, as I'll bend these metal tubes going into the cab right here. Yep, got some coolant coming already. Getting this one loose here too. Yep, okay, so that's under some pressure. Just to be aware of that. Now let me see if I can get them off. Nope. Alright, let me get a pair of pliers. Now that I think I've gotten everything broken up here. Yep, that's loose right there. So now, can I get it loose down here? Okay, that's actually quite a lot of coolant, more than I was anticipating. And that's under some pressure, which is not ideal. Let's keep working at it here with the pick. Yep, starting to come off now. Yep. Almost. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so not too much, obviously, but there was some in there. I definitely recommend wearing safety glasses for this one, and close your mouth if possible. You don't want to get that or swallow that. Let's see if we can get the other one off now. I'll let this drain for a second and come back to it. Alright, I've gotten a towel. I'll just kind of wipe everything up here, try to minimize the mess I'm making on the garage floor that didn't go in the pan. Let's try and get this other one off now. So let's grab a pick wherever I put it. So it was in the pan here. Let's get this one off. Kind of just run it around on the metal pipe, kind of separating that stuck on there rubber hose from the metal pipe. They have been on here for a while. There we go. So I got this one off now. It actually went through the hose, it stabbed through, but that's fine. That's why we are replacing them. Let's see if we can get the ones off on the upper end now, covered by this heat shield. That should be a little bit tricky. So once again, it's kind of a bad angle because the driver's side cat and exhaust is in the way, but right here, this heat shield, the clamps are right under here, going to the engine. So let's see if we can get these off now. I'm gonna use my trusty pair of channel locks. That did not work. Okay, so I got that one off, and that off right there. Now getting a pick on that other end is going to be a little bit tricky, but let's see what we can do here. So stick that in, kind of pull it, just work it around. Okay, so we can pull that off now. Give it the old twist. Nope, that's on there still. Yeah, all right, so now that one has broken free. Moving that, and I got this one off right here, so just one more. Don't lose the clamps, we're going to reuse that when we put the new hoses back on. This one's a little bit harder because that heat shield is right in the way there, kind of bending that back. I think I got the pick in. Now let's see. So I got kind of fed up with trying to get it off regularly. I'm just going to cut it with my knife. Like that. And it just came off like that. Good thing we're replacing it, right? Now, before we put the new hoses on, let's make sure we have the orientation right. As you can see, this is the side I cut. That faces the engine. And as you can see, it's a little bit longer than this shorter side right here. So therefore, this side right here on the new hose will face the engine. Putting on the clamps, I like to just take this one off, put it on right here. As soon as I slide the hose on, then I'll just take the clamp and put it in its respective location. Take the clamp off here, like that, and then put it on the new one, just like that right there. Similarly, we'll do that for the other side. So we will take this off right here, like that. And we will put it on about there. Now we'll slide it on and see if we can get everything fitted, and then I'll put the clamps on where it makes contact with the metal pipe up here as well. Yeah, so right here I'm just sliding this on like that. Make sure we rotate it like that, and then we'll copy and paste for the second hose that goes right next to it right here. Alright, so I've gotten both of the hoses on right here. An important thing is you should make sure that these are about the same length here, and where it goes to the engine, they're about at the same length. Now that I have put the hose clamps on already, I can just move it. So I'm going to grab this one here, just slide that on down, and then I can grab this one here and slide it along down towards the metal pipe. So now that we have everything wrapped up here, let me just do a recap of what we've done under the car. We replaced these two hoses. I tried to set the length here as equal as possible. Going to the engine, we have the hoses set right there as equal as possible. And I put the clamps in an easier position, so inevitably in the next 20 or 30 years when it fails again, it'll be easier to take off and replace. Now that we have replaced the hoses, the next step is to bleed the cooling system. Make sure that you run the climate control at full blast on heat. Additionally, run the rear climate control at full heat as well to make sure coolant gets there. So now that everything is bled in the coolant system, let's take it for a drive and see if it overheats. The temperature gauge should stay right there. So I've driven the car around for about 10-15 minutes and it seems like the temperature's staying where it should be. I'd call that a job well done. So that about wraps up this repair on my Lexus. One final note is don't be alarmed if your overflow tank is a little bit low next time you go check coolant. It's probably just some coolant entering in the system and bleeding out more air. If you enjoyed, please drop a comment. If I screwed up or did anything wrong, also leave a comment about that as well. I always enjoy learning. Thanks.